Injustice is not perfect. The sky is blue, grass is green, your auntie loves Demigah, we know, right? But injustice is something I've invested a lot of time into. It has been a long 8 years. I've made dozens of videos about this game, 2 of which were quite recent. But I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I asked you, my homies, my subbies, to give me your hot takes on the both of these games. And I'm gonna react to them on camera. And may I just say, it is very early in the morning right now and I'm recording this. If you left a goddamn essay in my comments, even though I told y'all not to, I'm not reading all of that. Comment number 1 from Snowbricks says, Superman cannot be redeemed. He killed countless people, including Shazam, a child, nigga, simply because he was having doubts. Let me stop you right there. Superman only partially killed Shazam because of his doubts. The other part was because he brought up his dead wife's name. See, if I was a superpowered psychopath, I think I would write down a list, or at least make it very clear about the stuff that you should not do to fuck with me. And bringing up my dead wife with a baby inside of her might not be the smartest thing to do. It's kind of like, once I heard this man say, if you connect your top lip to your bottom lip, you shut the fuck up. That is exactly what Billy Batson should have done in that given situation. Bobby thinks that Killer Croc should have been in Injustice 2 instead of the Joker. I agree. The Joker should have stayed his yams dead. See, what they were trying to do was capitalize off the Suicide Squad movie with Jared Leto, the worst Joker, since his movie just came out around the same time. And to further prove my point, they made a Deadshot and Harley trailer for the game. They had no connection in the game's story at all. Not only that, but in the game, they were on opposing sides. They never even had any interactions. But in the movie, they were like this, intertwined for the whole duration. Snowy Nev thinks that the default Red Hood design for this game is the best he's ever looked, and the voice actor really fits for the context of Injustice 2. I think Red Hood looked okay. Yeah, he looked very comic accurate to his earliest appearance. As for it being his best design, you're smoking dick, nigga. Do you not remember when he looked like this? You telling me that don't go hard? You're telling me that this custom drip ain't his best look that he's ever had? He ain't even got the symbol in Injustice. You need to go unlock that tin your damn self. And as for the voice actor, I don't mind it, but I feel like it only works in Injustice 2. If you were to replace Troy Baker in Arkham Knight, for instance, with this guy, I don't think this dude's got the emotional range to pull it off. If you were to replace Jensen Ackles with this guy, hell no. In my opinion, I'm being very biased right now, and I'm overestimating a little bit just how much potential I have, but I feel like with what I know now about voice acting and what I've taught myself how to do, I could probably do better. I'm just saying. I'm not saying this dude is bad at all. I'm just saying I believe in myself. You feel me? They finna start calling me Demigah Hendry. Hot take. The staff of Grayson wasn't worth all the time I put in to get it. Nigga, if that ain't the damn truth, I swear to God, those abilities that you could get, I never got half of them things. I remember one time I was playing online. I was fighting against the Batman. I was his son, Jason Todd, the Red Hood, right? What happened? Motherfucker pulls his ult. I'm ready to block it. I'm ready to dodge out the way. What happens? The motherfucking Batmobile comes in and F's me up. I didn't even know that was in the game. I had no idea you could do that. My boy pulled out the Injustice 1 ult on me.
Don't get up.
Same goes for the staff of Grayson. There was multiple ways you could unlock it. It could be in a diamond mother box. It could be in one of Robin's towers, playing as Robin. You might not need to touch Robin at all, if you're lucky. I know so many people who played the game for so many hours and never received the staff of Grayson. So yes, it was very tedious to do, and it was quite BS. Adding Raiden instead of Black Lightning was a lazy move, especially since they added a shader for the character later. I agree. Why the hell would you put Mortal Kombat and Injustice to begin with. I get it, it's NetherRealm. That's not an excuse to put your old assets into this one and pass it off as DLC. Did you add new moves? Yeah. But all of those moves, you could have just gave to Black Lightning in the first place. I feel like this is one of those parts in the game where they were cutting corners a little bit. They didn't want to give Black Lightning too much customization options. They didn't want to do any of the hard work. So what did they do? Raiden. And then they just dropped a bunch of his concept art for customization options. And not just that, Raiden's drip was ass. Raiden had lack thereof. The amount of times I would be playing as Raiden, because I did like to play as Raiden, but I turned his yams into Black Lightning. And I just dealt with the fact that I couldn't really change his appearance outside of 2 shaders. Man, something is in my goddamn eye, man. Choco Churros says, Red Hood, death should have been included to the story. Like, imagine him calling out Superman for being a massive hypocrite. Also, I think his dynamic with Bruce in it would have been an interesting one to explore in this animated universe. I'm assuming that's what he means by AU and not Australia. I agree, because in Red Hood's ending, we see that he was kind of in the middle of both sides of their dispute on how things should be handled. Of course, Red Hood's a killer. He even packs kryptonite bullets in his game, just in case Superman wanted to find out. But we also see in this game, he's very capable of handling himself. He didn't get involved within either side, but I feel like if he was in the base game, he could have played a very important role over which way this went. This game explored a bunch of choices throughout the story that you could make. I feel like Red Hood could have made a bunch of those decisions by himself and pushed either way. You see the vision, right? Into being swayed into another part of the story, which leads into either Batman's ending or Superman's ending, when Red Hood inevitably has to pretty much choose how the story goes. But this game is Injustice, not Red Hood, as much as I would love that. I think in the context of Injustice, the way they handled it was the best way it could have ended up. Cool, yeah, 2010 says, honestly, Batman should have been the villain instead of Superman. Makes more sense. You know what?
What?
I agree, yeah. The Joker is Batman's greatest villain. Would it not have made more sense for Batman to crash out in this case? I know his willpower is higher, but I feel like it would have been a more telling story if Superman had to put the hope or beat the hope back into Batman. Like, imagine Batman becoming a dictator because 6 million people in Metropolis or Gotham got killed. I genuinely feel like this same outcome would have happened with Batman being the villain if the Joker would have pulled this in Gotham and not Metropolis. And he would have killed Talia or even Catwoman instead of Lois Lane. Batman crashing out and becoming a killer would have been crazy, but then I feel like that would have made this game into more of a Bat family game rather than Injustice. Because we all know Alfred, Dick, Tim, Barbara, Stephanie, goddamn Lucius Fox, Red Hood. Did I say Red Hood? Anyway, even if I didn't, everybody would have gotten involved trying to stop this man. And they either would have joined him, like I feel like Red Hood would have done, or they would have been on the opposing side like Nightwing and Barbara might have done. But I feel like Barbara's wrathful enough that if her dad, Gordon, was killed in this, she would join Batman too. It's an interesting concept. I would kind of like to see a spin-off Injustice comic where we explore what if it happened in Gotham City? What would have happened then? It's very interesting, yeah. Yeet Master thinks that the gear system should have never had stat boosts. Just do away with it entirely. Why are you trying to piss me off? You know you can turn it off, right? You do not need to leave it on. If you don't like it, turn it off. I'd have you know, the boss fights in the multiverse mode in this game were very challenging for multiple reasons. If it wasn't for those stat boosts, I would have gotten plowed. No lube. Dry. It was a very painful experience trying to get through some of this. So if you don't like it, take it off! Take it off! It was like a 2 or 3 button command to do so. Batman definitely smashed Lois. He knew before Superman. Nigga, that's crazy. That's actually wild to think about. Imagine if the baby was his, man. First of all, that makes Lois a bop, to put it lightly. And second of all, it kind of makes Superman a C-U-C-K, you feel me? Like Superman, you could have smelled that. Batman's balls, that sounds crazy. Let me move on. Somebody like, why you bringing up his balls? When you sweat, bro. I said I was gonna move on. I'm not about to get into the biological nature of Batman's ball sweat and the residue that it left on Lois's poom poom, so let's go.
William Butcher. It's smelling all over you.
The games did more damage to how people perceive Wonder Woman than it did Superman. I agree. Superman has had multiple chances to recover throughout animated movies, his new movie with James Gunn. He's had a couple of chances to redeem himself. Wonder Woman has had quite the opposite. The last time that we saw superhero Wonder Woman was in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League when she was trying to save her friends. But before then, we got Captain Genocide out here, ruining the character single-handedly. We got Injustice, effing up the character's credibility completely, entirely. She became the worst love interest of all time. The most manipulative woman I've ever seen in a video game. I don't remember the last time I saw Wonder Woman media outside of like the Snyderverse in Suicide Squad where she was actually doing something heroic. And I'm not talking about the comics, I'm talking about in mainstream media. Something everybody has access to. Not a hot take, but the character designs in the first game are better than Injustice 2. Superman suffered the worst. I'ma say yes, no to that. If you look at Wonder Woman, she was horrible, clapped. But then you look at Superman and what they did to him, you couldn't even wear the undies. You couldn't wear the undies. I'm Superman. They were trying way too hard to be like Henry Cavill. Who don't want to wear the underpants on the outside? Tell me that right now. Kingdom Come got the panties on the outside. David Cornsweat got the panties on the outside. Mainstream Superman in the comics got the panties on the outside. There was no style even to unlock where you could remotely resemble anything like that. That pissed me off. As much as I'd like to see the third game, I wouldn't mind if it never happened. You see, with the way NetherRealm is going, I agree. They could cancel that today, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I would complain. I'd be angry over the potential of what it could have been. But when I really sit down to think about it, if they were to get rid of it altogether, I would understand for multiple reasons. I'm one who actually likes the story of Injustice. I like how different it is and the perspectives that kind of switch and change. I mess with it. I like it. Fuck you. Give a damn if you agree with me. I'm more worried about the technical aspect of it, like the gameplay, the reward system, cosmetics, all that stuff, because in MK1, their last game, they messed that up entirely. I have no idea how to say your name. Goddamn. Ibn Langain? Okay. Injustice Soups is more relatable than canon Superman. I could break it down why, but that would be an essay. You know what? For once, I wish somebody did drop a goddamn essay and elaborate, because what the hell are you talking about, bruh? That's like saying people don't have the capabilities to have good hearts. But in a way, I also do get it, because I'm not Superman. I'm Jason. If you mess with me or the people I love, I might kill you, nigga. I'm not gonna lie. I might do something crazy. So yeah, I feel like I'm more like Injustice Superman, but in regards of, killing children and crashing out to an unbelievable extent, that is not me. I feel like that's not most people. You just gotta believe in the good hearts of people, man. Not everybody has one anymore. And in fact, I feel like we are actually, you know what? Yeah, we are getting to a point where more people are acting like Injustice Superman. Sadly, be more like David Cornsweat, okay? Save squirrels and stuff, you feel me? Injustice 2 gameplay is quite boring, and I hate how the screen backs off like we're too far away. I don't think it's boring. I just feel like it needed a lot of improvement, that's all. I still enjoy playing the game to this day. But sadly, I feel like the gameplay flow, besides the cameos, in MK1 was much better than what it was in Injustice. I hope they take that concept without the cameos, big emphasis on that, and just improve on it little by little. We are gonna be in for a good game, I just feel it, but it's gonna lack somewhere. I just can't tell exactly where just yet, but if you ask me, it'll be about the cosmetics and the gear system that might not even be there. They've been going very minimalistic recently. Damian Wayne is the best written character, because unlike any of the other characters, I went bad. Damian Wayne already was okay with, listen, some of y'all need to work on your punctuation. Some of y'all need to work on your grammar, comprehension. I'm not reading the rest of this propaganda. First of all, you pissed me off by even mentioning Damian Wayne. I'm not gonna lie. Secondly, as for the best written character in Injustice, he might be. He has his moments. Yeah, he has his moments at the start of the game when he's talking to his father. But after that, He just turns into a I'm gonna get demonetized if I say that. A K-U-N-T. Nonsensically so. But yeah, go work on your English. I can tell it's the only language you speak, but yet you still butchered the thing. Drip hot take. The bat suit in the first game looks awesome. Bite your tongue. That was ass. Over-designed, too bulky, and that's if we're only talking about the one from the second Earth, the one we're currently in now. The other one, to me, it still looked way too over-designed. It looked like a mix of like Christian Bale and I don't even know what you want to call this. I do not like it. It's too much. I hope they don't bring back the customization option they're using in Injustice 2 for Injustice 3. The Injustice 2 customization was goated. I'm not gonna believe any kind of slander against it. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but listen, I fuck with it. I like having the ability to make myself look exactly how I want to look from head to toe. Picking the colors, I can pick Red Hood's helmet, Red Hood's jacket, his vest, his pants, his guns, all that stuff. MK1 literally ruined all of that. People complained when they went down. People complained that it wasn't enough in Injustice 1. I know you feel like it was better in Injustice 1. I'm not trying to say that's everybody. Injustice 2 genuinely improved on it. Some of it was way too over-designed. Some of it could have lead into the more comic accuracy. You could have gave Superman his panties, you feel me? But overall, I feel like Injustice 2 in regards of customization was so much better than any of the other fighting games that we have ever had. From NetherRealm, anyway. I like the Flash's ults in the first game more. Me too, but the Flash has always had goated ults in these games, and I feel like that's gonna continue into the next one. One complaint I've always had about these games though, in Mortal Kombat, you always have at least 2 fatalities. Why can't we get like 2 different ults in Injustice? Because not only that, but they had fatal blows in Mortal Kombat, which was literally just the Injustice ult system. So what's the excuse that our superheroes and supervillains can't have 2? Sounds like laziness to me. I just want to read this real quick. Bacon Man says, Billy was a dumbass for stepping up when he did. And I was thinking that was kind of crazy, right? So I clicked the comment section. Somebody had the same response I was thinking about. Like, he was a child, bro. He was a child, but I'll admit he was a bit of a dumbass child, man. Wonder Woman did nothing wrong. She was right for all the decisions that we should blame everything on Batman. My boy, hop off Wonder Woman's strap on. I know it's about 8 inches deep right now. Get off her dick. You see, you strike me as somebody who would do anything for Nyash, eh? You would die for Nyash. But you see, where I come from, where we're strong-willed, we don't let some woman control you, manipulate you the way she does with Superman. The birds outside are waking up. I gotta wrap this up. For Injustice 3, they should build off the ending where Superman wins. I agree. That is the only way I can see this game going and continuing without leading into the General Zod stuff that happens later on. Plus, with the passing of Kevin Conroy, I'd rather not see Batman get recast rather than killed off. That might sound crazy to some people, but that's the only logical way I can see them continuing this world, still making it fun, exciting, new, engaging, and giving off a new main character to play with. But I'm gonna need you to like, subscribe, and share this video before I go play with your auntie. Yeah, it's like that. And shout out to everybody from tier 2, whether that is on my Patreon or YouTube memberships. I'ma have a new exclusive video coming for y'all soon. Just wait on me. Thank you for everything. What are some of your Injustice hot takes? Let me know in the comments below and I'ma be seeing you. Bye. You know, this is usually the point where some outro music would play, but you know, we can't really have that anymore because YouTube don't want to let me have nice things, so I don't know what I'm gonna do here exactly. I'll play something. I'll just remove it later if they want to copyright me. Here you go.